Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today, as you can see, we didn't get the video out first thing this morning, and that's my fault. Last night, I guess you could call it a trial run. The unit, as you guys well know, and the vest is, if it goes through the first time, it's giving you the warning and you reset it. But if it comes on again within a couple minutes for the second time, it's getting laid on the floor. And when you squeeze that, you're shocking yourself, right? So it came on the second time last night. And I laid on the floor and I hit it. Nothing. And within a minute, it come back on again for the third time. And I'm thinking, do I squeeze it or is it going to hit me anyways? So I squeezed it. Nothing. By then, I've got my sister-in-law involved. I've got Claude down here at the house, thinking he's got to take me to the ER because that's what we're supposed to do, right? When it goes off the second time, then I need to go to the ER and back in ICU. So I took the battery out and I reset it while Claude was here. And it did the same thing. It did it the first time. I reset for the warning. Came on the second time. I'm sitting in my recliner. I hit it. Nothing. Third time. I hit it. Nothing. So we ended up calling the ones that monitor these vests and stuff. And they were able to download everything right there in front of them. And they looked at it and they said it's a false positive. I'm like, what does that mean? They said, well, with wintertime in your area, what ends up happening is the vest will build up a certain amount of static charge, and it's giving the probes a misread. But the monitor in the machine, the box, is smart enough to know that that's static, false positive, and not the actual heart, so it won't allow the shock to go through. All right. But we got a hold of the guy and he did the download and he tried reassuring me as much as possible that you're fine. They have me take some warm water and wash the probes and then take some lotion and put just a little dab on each probe so that and allow it to come against the skin. That way it would keep from being able to build static. So what has that got to do with this morning's video? Well, I didn't get into bed till probably around 11 o'clock last night. And the night before, I only had like 4 hours sleep, and the night before that, 3 hours. Because this box was waking me up in the middle of the night. This morning, I got up 15 minutes before Claude got here, which is 7 o'clock. He gets here at quarter after. And picks me up and takes me down to the shop. So anyways, we all had some excitement for a while last night. Even though it was a false positive, it almost gave me a heart attack. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I was over on the groups again. I know you guys say stay away from them, but I'm a glutton for punishment. And this one guy posts, starting a small engine repair shop next month. Where do I find a good mechanic? Huh? I know. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and if you didn't already know it, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Friday. Friday the 13th. Beware. Anything can happen, right? But if you were at the beginning of the video, you know we had some excitement last night. I overslept, and I'm doing it here at just after 12. We had, the dogs and I had our lunch, and we're in for the day. So I thought I'd knock the video out right now. But it was from a post from a guy that was part of a small engine repair group over on Facebook. And he's saying he's going to start a small engine repair shop next month. And he wonders where he can hire a mechanic. Now, let's take a few things into perspective. I'm not going to tell him what to do, but for you guys that are looking at getting into the business, understand that there's a higher than a 70% failure rate within the first 2 years of that business. All right? That means a lot of people that try fail. And why do they fail? Because they aren't willing to give it 110% and invest their time and energy into the business that requires you to do so. And if I were starting a small engine repair business in this day and age, I think I would want to know how to work on small engines. Honest to God. When you first start up, customers are not going to knock down your door and overrun you with a ton of equipment to work on. It just doesn't happen that way. It takes time to build clientele. It takes even more time to build the right clientele that you want, of people that will pay their bills, are happy with your work, don't complain a lot. When you first start out, you're willing to take anybody. And that will lead you to in my first couple of years, I had small stacks of people that had not paid for their repairs. Some even left the whole unit there. They just never come back. But that was a learning lesson for me, in that you need to know that going into it, that your first year you're looking at just about taking anybody's units on, right? Because nobody is a given. That comes with time and experience. So in your first year, anybody that comes knocking on your door or calling your phone saying they need something worked on, you're probably going to go ahead and say yes, and if you do pick up and drop offs, arrange that. If not, arrange for them to drop their unit off. But if you have no clue of how to fix it, and you have to hire somebody, how much money is it going to cost you to hire that mechanic while you're trying to build your clientele? That's the question you got to answer. Is, can you get enough work coming through that shop to support paying somebody else? Because I could tell you, for the first 3 to 4 years, I never took a dime from the business. And I do it a lot even to this day. I reinvest back into the business. If you want growth, if you want more inventory, if you want, that means you're going to take less and you're going to give the business more. And I think if you talk with, Amos will speak up when it comes to the business he started and sold. You can use debt a certain amount, but you got to be really, really careful. I see a numerous number of shops that have got 3 and 4 year old models of their snow blowers, their zero turns, their riders, that are still on pallets, crates, that have not been taken down, opened up, and put together. And that starts telling me, that you get to a certain level of debt, of where you get the I don't give a shit factor. And you say to yourself, okay, I'm in so much debt, I'm never going to get out, might as well enjoy it. Well, remember, even if you're a C Corp, they can come after your personal inventories. Come after you if they want to. But why would you put yourself in that position to start with? I preach a lot, but I also understand that anything I say has to be taken in context of advice. And that's exactly what it is. You take what you can use and leave the rest. But if I can instill in you guys, if you're thinking about starting a small engine repair business, lawn care business, what have you, any business, try to do it as debt free as possible. Having that brand new mower, if you're a lawn care guy, may sound great, but that used zero turn for a fourth of the price may get you by and get you enough yards under your belt of where you have the money to go out and purchase that brand new model the following year and sell your other one. Or use it as a backup. If you're looking at getting into the repair business, be careful about your inventories. If you're not doing retail and you're just doing your repair shop, the only thing you should be carrying is different kind of plugs, spark plugs, a few different kinds of air filters. There's 3 different kind of oil filters if it's just about every machine out there. You want to have 10W30, 10W40 synthetic oil, and that 10W30, 10W40 synthetic will work on the hydrostatic transmissions as well. What else do you need? You need carburetor cleaner, you need some shop towels, and you need tools. If you're running a retail space, now that's something totally different. Now you're going to have to invest in inventory. And the way I did it when it come to inventory was, if somebody bought one, I had the price high enough so that I could turn around and buy 2 for what they were going to pay for the one and then put one on the shelf. That's how I built my inventory, was reinvesting back into the business. And that allowed us to get more inventory here to ship faster. Any of the stuff that we were drop shipping from the manufacturer, we didn't worry about. But the smaller stuff, what I call the smalls, we did. We wanted it here so that we could get same day shipping and develop, within our customers of, yes, these guys, you got your order before, 3 o'clock, it's out and it's on its way. And it paid off for a lot of the shops in the area that we partnered with, because we had the inventory right there. So if they needed a part, I would sell it to them at what they called wholesale price that they paid. We were at warehouse level, so we got it cheaper, but we sold it to them at warehouse level. And they were happy, we were happy, everybody's happy. It's a win-win situation. But if I had to go out and buy all that inventory up front, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars of inventory I had here just to do the 900,000 plus per year that we were doing. And that was just in parts. So that brings us to tools. Tools in the shop. What do you really need? Compression tester. You need a spark plug wrench that will fit different type of spark plugs. A way to quarter inch set, or you can buy the quarter, 3/8, half inch drive sets that they sell at Harbor Freight. You don't need to go out and spend a buttload of money. You should be able to do it for under $100. If you want to step up a little bit more, $200. But that will get your hands dirty. And most of you that would be that are looking at starting something like that for a small engine repair shop, or if you're looking at lawn and garden or a lawn care business, but you're going to be doing the work on your own machines, you probably already have a good majority of the tools already on hand, right? That you've been using right along. The only thing you might be adding would be a compression tester and a spark tester. But other than that, most guys have got all the basics already in your toolbox, right? But let's get to the most important thing, and that is the willingness to give it 110%. I can tell you that for the first few years, it was 7 days a week, 16, 18-hour days, and taking almost no money from the business. Yes, we've downsized. I've gotten rid of 3 employees that were local. I've got rid of 4 employees overseas. And Claude's turning 73 here next month. and I'm 62. I just had a quadruple bypass. How much longer are we going to be doing this? So I opted, let's downsize and pick and choose the right customers that we want to deal with. And, if it's half days, it's half days, right? But I've been there, done it, wore the t-shirt, and threw the t-shirt away. If you want to see that business succeed, you have to have the willingness to give it everything you got and put in the long hours. And I can tell you right now, if you have a young family, it's hard. It's really hard. Because for most of you, you're going to be doing your day job and trying to start it up nights and weekends. So seeing the family is going to get less and less, right? Because you're so busy trying to get this business going that you're going to run into issues of not giving your better half the right attention or the kids any attention. And the kids need attention because if all they do is sit on their devices all day long, they need to get out and play, and they need to, have you in their life. But I want you to understand that if you decide you're going to go that route of starting your own business, you have a high rate of failure that you have to overcome, and you have to have the willingness to give it your all for quite some time. And at some point, once the business is going well, yes, you can step it back to maybe 4 or 5 days a week that you're working. Get key employees in place that you can trust. Take time off to go do things that you would enjoy doing, fishing, hunting, what have you. You're the boss. But you also have to always be at the helm steering the ship. And you can put it on cruise control for a day or two here and there, right? But you can't take a month off and expect to come back and have it be still going in the direction you want it to go. Even with key people. Amos and I have talked about this before, and that is, somebody having a small engine repair business or somebody having an established business that is doing really well, but they want to retire, right? And having somebody different buy that business and then have it not succeed. The biggest reason that it didn't succeed is you lost the person that was at the helm that knew and understood how to take care of their customers, good customer service, their employees, and controlling inventory and sales. You'd be farther ahead if you're going to decide to buy a business to retain the current owner for 6 months to a year so that you're working side by side and you're picking up what they're doing. That will give you a higher success rate, right? But when it comes to running a small engine repair shop, I can tell you right now, it's time, comes experience, good and bad, and from the good and bad, you develop how to do it right, and that's called wisdom. And I can't keep preaching it enough, that's just the way it is. And if you have no idea how to fix a small engine, the last thing I would suggest to you is to open a small engine repair shop. Honest to God. Because if you don't fix the machines correctly, and they come back, and you're doing redos, one, the customer's not going to be happy. And it's going to start costing you out of your own pocket because you didn't have the necessary skills to handle what was coming in through that door. So on that note, you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. We'll catch you right back here first thing Monday morning. I'm going to try to get caught up on my sleep this weekend and get back to the morning grind. All right, guys.